Hello, Kitten Triage Tuesday supporters. This is our 2 p.m. broadcast, and we are joined today with a special guest. This is Karen McGill, our Feline Care Specialist here in the shelter. And Karen, introduce us to our little feline friend here.
Our little feline friend here is a tuxedo female that came into the shelter rather upset, which is not unusual this time of year. She is a young female and likely in heat. So she's had a few days to settle down, and today we just have her out in a room just to see, what her personality's like, because she wasn't really having a good time in the cage. Can you scoot back just a little bit? There we go. There we go. So
we're also joined today by Ann Potter.
Hi. Just watching. Do you like to make noise? So with cats like her that come in fractious, if we aren't sure if they're social or not, then they get put into what's called our feral room. And it doesn't mean the cats are feral, it's just a place where trapped cats go. And then on occasion, cats that do come in carriers that are just so upset and reactive that they need a quiet place to settle down. Yeah.
Upset and reactive?
Oh, she was hissing and striking and growling. And one thing that I have found in my, 11 years here is that the cats that come in really upset and fractious are not feral. The vast majority of the time, they're just really upset house cats, and they generally have what I call a more high-strung personality. They're more anxious, they take more time to get used to situations and environments.
Oh my goodness, they're so feral.
I know, so she is passing with flying colors.
She needs to be spayed.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does, and she is getting on the schedule for tomorrow. So that way she can just be done with everything and go up for adoption. We get a lot of cats in like her. We also get in a lot of cats that come in really shut down. And those are the hardest ones. When they come in really shut down and scared.
Oops.
There it is. There it is.
There's the arousal
threshold right there. Yep.
Found it.
There. Little girl. The ones that come in really scared and shut down are the ones that are the hardest. They generally need more time to acclimate and feel safe. And then we're looking for less obvious social behaviors like blinking or lip licking, meowing. Sometimes just the way they will sit in their den or lay down in their den. If they're more laying on their side, then that's generally a sign that they're becoming more comfortable. Whereas cats that come in that truly are unsocial or feral tend to be very frozen. And they'll huddle, and their eyes will stay very wide, and they're always looking for an exit. Usually those are not the cats that will come at you.
Remember the boy?
Yes, she can.
Do we know where she came from and how old she is?
We don't know how old she is yet because she was so reactive and over-aroused when she came in. They didn't do a health exam on her. So we're going to do everything at the same time. So she'll get her exam when she is put under for her spay. I'm guessing she's probably no older than 2.
Yeah, she seems young.
Yeah. And because she does have that kind of more, active personality, that she's likely going to maintain kind of a younger personality even as she gets older. Cats like this generally do need more exercise, more stimulation, mental and physical.
What about like agility for a cat like this?
I often, when I have cats like this, I often will say that they might make a good cat for you to practice agility or training. Clicker training works great with cats a lot of the time. I clicker trained one of my semi-ferals to allow me to put flea treatment on him.
Oh, nice.
Because he was...
That might be a cool thing to demonstrate. Do we have a clicker I could go get you?
Yeah, that would actually be wonderful. I couldn't find mine. I'll be right back. Hi, honey.
The door.
I think name.
the door.
I think we're gonna name you Madge. Madge? You like that name? Oh look, she turned around. Oh.
She's like, what?
It went
Is
under.
that a treat? Is that a treat? So
Oh,
Karen,
yes.
so since it's Kitten Triage Tuesday and we're raising funds for the Kitten Triage program here at the shelter, what can you tell us about the program and how your role kind of fits into Kitten Triage?
With the Kitten Triage trailer, one of the hardest parts is when you have kittens that. So there's a really prime socialization period for kittens, and that's pretty much from like 4 to 8 weeks. Once you get into that 8 to 12 weeks, depending on their personality, it can take longer to socialize them. And some may always be more on the reserve side and may not always come up to strangers. The real problem is when you get into those kittens that are 3 months and over, too old for the kitten trailer, but they still need that really, they need that intense hands-on socialization. But it can also be more problematic because these are kittens that are obviously older and more willing to do things like scratch and bite because they still don't have that inhibition. So we are. She is just full of it. So the biggest challenge is getting those kittens that are a little older and getting them socialized so we can still place them into homes. But if we can't do that, then what we do is when kittens get older and they're still not entirely socialized, then we can place them in our working cat program. We want to make sure that they're old enough to where they can be safe outside. People that we place our working cats with, we make sure that they do have safe enclosed areas to acclimate as well as permanent places for the cats to be able to sleep and eat and be safe from predators. But we do have that option for older kittens. But the number one thing is we work really hard to socialize them. It's just harder when they're older because they're in that in between. Also, because it is kitten season, it really does puts a burden on our fostering system because a lot of people do want the kittens, which I totally understand. When people are looking to foster and then adopt kittens, it does put pressure on our more adult cat population in terms of getting them out of here into homes where they can decompress and we can see their personality or just recover from upper respiratory, as well as being able to place them into homes. Foster.
I envision a world where all cats are in foster homes.
Yes.
Madge says, thank you for tuning in. She just gave everybody a kiss.
Oh, hi, Madge. Madge.
What you doing, Madge? So tell us about the Working Cat program. That's kind of something that shelters have started doing just recently in the last couple of years. Tell our viewers about what that looks like and how they can get involved.
Yeah. The Working Cat program is really important. One thing that we do want to push above anything is when people do have community or feral cats and social cats, we encourage them to do a trap, neuter, return, which is to return them to the area that they come from. That's their home, and that's where they're the most comfortable. That's where they know where their resources are, and most cats in their communities, even though people don't know it, they usually do have a food source and a place to sleep, and they've already managed to kind of fit themselves into that unique ecosystem. However, sometimes that is not possible, whether it's become too dangerous or their food source has gone away. Those are the cats, once they're here at the shelter, if we do find out they're not social, and that can be from really feral to, I'm used to being around people, but I really don't want to be touched. I'm used to being outside, doing my thing. So what we do is we get them all fixed and ear tipped. We do microchip them, make sure they're all up to date on their vaccines and everything. And then we accept applications for people who have property where they need rodent control. We do want to keep the cats away from really ecologically sensitive areas. But we place them in like it can be a house, it can be a barn, a warehouse. We've had Portland businesses adopt our working cats. And so in exchange for shelter and food and water, it gives them a place to be. They work, they get a job. Imagine that, cats that work for a living. And so it provides us a place to place them. You know, there are a lot of places out there that still euthanize feral cats, and we just don't see the reason for that. In fact, even with FID positive cats, as long as they are still healthy, and we don't see a problem with the population, we will place those as well. So we're really trying hard to make sure that these, you know, non-domesticated cats also have a place to go.
Right. So it's kind of like, it's like having a barn cat. You just don't need to have a barn in order to participate in the program.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They found something you can use for clicker training with this cat. Because look at. Are we interested?
You are very
Has opinions.
motivated. Come here. Come here. Oh, come
Sorry, I've got the whole thing.
I know. Come here, son. Madge. Madge. Come here. Madge. Come here. Oh, she's so.
I think she's amazing.
Come here. Yeah. Come on. Here. Can you touch? Good girl.
Do you like it?
Really? Madge? Madge?
So first you have to find something they really like.
Mine always love the temptation treats, but every cat has their
Another kryptonite.
Another great thing is like deli, deli fried chicken, rotisserie chicken,
Gerber chicken baby food.
I find the deli food sometimes works better than the deli chicken works better than the baby food.
There you go.
And I don't know if it's the texture. I don't know if they're like, I'm not
I wonder if
baby.
there's a difference for older. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I wonder if there's a difference for older cats because the kittens always love that baby food. They're like,
Well, I feed baby food for giving medication. I don't know. My cat Jacqueline, he does not like baby food. I tried to clicker train him. He's like, no.
So what is clicker training?
So what it is so you're marking a behavior. So what I was trying to do is every time she touched her nose to this, I was trying to click her, but she's not all that interested in the food.
she's got other things on her mind.
So it's like
Yeah.
a bell.
She's still exploring.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's exactly Pavlov.
Okay.
Yeah, classical conditioning kind of thing. Positive reinforcement.
No, she likes that. There you go.
So I've got some comments from our community of watchers right now. Krista says, hello, baby, pretty girl. Krista, you looking for a cat? Because
She's gorgeous.
she is feisty, she is gorgeous.
Cats like these are so much fun. They often do well with dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They have that, that real playful personality that often does well with dogs with a, positive introduction. They do tend to do better with male cats than female, although that is a gender stereotype.
Yes.
But females do, especially as they get older, females tend to be a little more on the territorial side. So it takes them a little bit longer to adjust to new things coming into their environment. That's, of course, like I said, a generalization. There are plenty of females that are just really super chill. Male cats, once they're neutered, tend to do a little better, and maybe say do a little better more quickly in multi-cat households.
That's a good
Man.
Hello, Madge. Kisses for everybody. Rachel says socialization is so important. Are there volunteer groups, events, or anything to set up to encourage volunteers to come in and just hang out and socialize cats and older kittens?
Right now, we do have volunteers that come into our cattery. There are volunteers for kittens. We are still working on getting behavior plans in place so volunteers can go in the back and work with girls like her. Because they like right now she's doing really great. She's in an open room, but because a lot of our cats most of our cats are housed in cages. Their behavior can be a little more challenging because they are a little more stressed and do tend to kind of arouse a little more quickly. So we just have to be cautious to make sure that everyone, that the cats are comfortable and the volunteers are comfortable. That is something that we will definitely be doing here in the next few months.
Yay.
That's great.
She's gorgeous.
Karen, can you tell us a little bit about the system of cats in the shelter, like kittens and cats and adult cats and senior cats, and how they all kind of play, how they work together?
So what happens, any cat that comes in, we try to immediately take in for a health exam. That goes for kittens and any age of cat. We don't have any set limits on age. We don't. There is no set criteria as to who makes it on the adoption floor, except that cats that we can reasonably keep behaviorally and medically comfortable, they go up for adoption. We currently have a 16-year-old in our cattery right now. Every cat that comes in gets put on a stray hold, or if they have ID, they are here a little longer, so we can try and make contact with the owner. Everyone gets a behavior assessment. For some, that's really easy because they're just really super social and confident. Cats that are less comfortable in the shelter, we definitely give them more time to settle. We do enrichment. And then if we need to, like with her, we give them time out of the cage to see how they're like out in the open. I also often keep some of the behaviorally challenging cats in my office where it's quieter and I can work with them. But once so they either go up for adoption in our cattery. If we feel like it is a social cat that we just need some time to decompress, then we put them into foster care. We transfer a lot of our cats out to our partner agencies. And yeah.
Good.
That's great.
And then we have working cat placement for our non-socials.
Yeah. So we've been telling folks that we get about 800 to 1,000 kittens in a year. Tell us about the rest of the cat population and what is the length of stay for a kitten versus maybe a senior or an adult cat?
It depends. This time of year, we not only get in a lot of kittens, but we do get in more younger, intact cats because they are the ones that tend to go outside and wander, looking for that special love connection, and then they end up here.
Where the odds are very good.
I'm pretty sure
yes.
was in for a special love
A very special love connection. So we also we do tend to get in more older cats this time of year. Unfortunately, there's a few reasons for that. People move. Sometimes people want to make way for a younger pet. We do get animals that come here because the owners have passed away. So definitely our senior cats almost always have a longer length of stay. Although we had one 16-year-old that came in and was adopted within 2 or 3 days.
There you go.
But generally, the older the cat is, the longer the length of stay. As well as cats with special needs, we do adopt out FIV positive cats here. So our FIV positive cats have a longer length of stay here as well.
Yep. So since kittens kind of fly out the door, because everybody loves kittens and everybody wants to support and adopt a kitten, and the senior cats tend to stay a bit longer, is there something that people could do? Would you recommend adopting an adult cat or a senior cat with a kitten, or what are your thoughts on different pairings that you can do?
It always depends on the personality of the cat. Generally, if you have a senior cat, unless they are really unusually active, confident cat, most seniors find kittens kind of annoying. More of a young middle-aged to middle-aged can often be a pretty good pair. With senior cats, I love senior cats because they're so easy. You know, I mean, I have a cat that's he's 17 years old. I adopted him when he was a 10-month-old, and he just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And all he wants is some playtime every day and then my lap. And wet food. He wants a lot of wet food. Senior cats are such a joy, and you know what their personality's like. They just want a comfortable place to call it. You can go to work. You know, if you like to go out and have drinks after work, you don't have to worry about the senior cat. You know, they're perfectly content to watch, I don't know, Entertainment Tonight or whatever. Well, you know,
Lifetime movies. They'll watch Lifetime movies while you're gone.
Exactly. But I do feel that we do have a lot of those, 6-7-year-old cats that do really well with a buddy. And I personally, I always, especially with kittens, I always advocate adopting a kitten, either with another kitten or a playful adult cat, or have one in the home, because it's so important to their socialization.
What kind of adoption specials do we have to facilitate kind of the pairings that we do?
We do have adopt one, get the other cat or kitten, half off the adoption fee, which is great because it just gives you. Well, it's a win-win. So you get 2 cats for a slightly lesser adoption fee. The cats get a home, and that also gives everyone, a little extra money to get the things that the cats are going to require, like catnip, the canned food, the toys. We may want to get them litter and whatnot, but they're really pushing for that extra money to go towards the catnip and toys.
Now, if you've got a really active cat, kind of like this one, are there benefits to adopting in pairs versus just a singleton?
I definitely think so. With cats like her, they will do just fine. She'll do just fine as a single cat because she is very people motivated. But I definitely think, a nice, friendly, confident, and I'm going to emphasize again, probably a male would be the safest bet. Or a really nice, mellow, easygoing female would also be a good fit for her. And she would do well as a single or a pair. That's the beauty of a cat like her.
That's great. And Justin, can you post the donation link to the Kitten Triage program?
It's in the comments.
Yeah, under Pages Manager should.
Behaviors over there.
Once you do that too.
She's got this really super silky coat.
So if you're tuning in right now, if you're joining us, many of you are regular supporters, but if you're new to this show, this is Kitten Triage Tuesday. We're raising funds for the Kitten Triage program at Multnomah County Animal Services. We raised $15,000, but we're actually trying to fund the program up to $40,000. We receive over 800 kittens a year. Costs about $50 per kitten to give them the medication, the vaccines, the surgery, and the staff time that they need when they first arrive. And so any donation you give will save lives in this program. And we also are highlighting the work of the Kitten program and showcasing what we're doing for the other cats here at the shelter. So if you have any questions, Karen's happy to tell you about either the Kitten Triage program or how the sheltering system works for the adult cats as well. And we're just about to post a donation link. We'd appreciate any support you're able to lend. Any donation you give can save lives. As little as $28 will help cover the vaccines and the medication that the kittens receive when they first arrive. If you watched our show this morning, you saw some kittens you saw one kitten in pretty rough shape. And that's the state of many of the kittens we receive. They come in, they're dehydrated, they're hungry, they haven't eaten in a few days, they're separated from their mom, from the rest of the litter, and they need help. And your donation makes sure that they receive everything they need when they first arrive to save their lives, be it subcutaneous fluids or food or, round-the-clock feedings for the bottle babies that are separated from their mom. Patricia says, hi from Orange County, California. Great show. Patricia, thanks so much for tuning in and for supporting. Madge is going to give you a kiss.
Yeah.
Head bumps.
She's trying to send a text message. Looking for love.
Right? In all the wrong places.
Mickey Madge. Hi. Hi. Do we want to go get another kitten?
Yeah.
Yeah, do we want to showcase somebody else? Do you want to take us on a walking tour, Karen? What do you think?
Yeah, actually. Do you want to... We can go meet Zeus in my office?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go on a little walking tour of the shelter. So, where are we right now?
We are in our auxiliary room, which is our overflow room for cats. We actually just had 15 cats in here from one location. Actually, a mom and many aged kittens. Come on, Madge. Oh, come on. So we adopted out a few, and then our placement partners at OHS and Cat Adoption Team took some. So now we have emptied out this room, and today I'm using it for a fun room. A fun room for cats like that.
That's great.
Yeah, let's go see.
She loved it too.
So, we've talked a little bit about our partnerships in ASAP. Can you tell us about how those partnerships work?
So we have, there are a lot of shelters in the Portland metro area that we often, I know honey, that we often transfer cats to, anything from kittens to adults. Oh honey, yeah, see she goes, I don't want to go back. So we have regular transfers every week to Cat Adoption Team and to OHS. We have other places that we transfer to, but those are our set partners, and they take hundreds of cats from us every year.
They are well-oiled adoption machines.
Yes, they are.
So,
OHS in particular has been taking some of our senior cats, which is very nice because they have a lot of walk-in traffic. So we're very, very grateful. Cat and OHS both take our FIV positive cats. So if they're sitting here, then we can transfer them along. And Cat also takes many of our underage kittens. So if they are weaned but still not old enough for adoption, then they will also get foster parents. So especially if we're feeling a glut, then Cat Adoption Team often helps us out. So we're very, very grateful to have such wonderful partners in the community.
yep, we've got a comment from Katie who says, over 800 kittens per year. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for advocating for these babies. I hope everyone knows how remarkable and unique MCAS is for being able to do this as an open-door county shelter. MCAS is amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Katie. We couldn't do it without our community of supporters.
Exactly.
Supporting this Kitten Triage program and all the work that we're doing for the other cats in the shelter, the senior cats and the working cats. You know, these are all animals that maybe we weren't able to help before, and because of these innovative programs and because of your support of those programs, that's what's saving lives. So thank you so much to Katie and everybody else out in the community and our transfer partners for saving lives. Everybody counts. It's all part of the system. All right, so do we want to go see
Zeus?
Zeus the office cat?
He is a great boy.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. I just, one of them decided to run to the garage.
Okay.
So I keep feeling.
Hi, everybody. We're going to show up and say hello to Zeus.
Okay. Oh, hi, Penny. Zeus. So Zeus came in as an owner surrender. He really sweet boy in his home. They did say that he is shy with strangers, and even at his house, his favorite place to be was in a room with this person. So when he came here, he was very scared and really didn't really want to be touched. He was just, I think, he was just depressed and really anxious. So I brought him in here to just give him some quiet time and just get used to being around one person and see what would happen. And he's been in here a little over a week, and he made baby steps, but now he's doing really well with me. Before, I couldn't pet him. He would come out and walk around, and he would rub his cheeks on all kinds of things, but really didn't want to be pet or handled too much. And the other day we finally had our breakthrough, and now I can just reach right in and pet him, and he's showing really cute behaviors. He's very playful. He's feeling kind of poopy right now because he broke with a cold, so he is on doxycycline, which I give him every morning. But he likes other cats. He is very curious, and he's playful, but he's not like super hyper. He's just a really, and he's I wish he would come out, sweetheart. He's super chunky, and he's just awesome.
Hi, Zeus.
Can you just come out a little bit, mister? Mister? Just a little bit. There he is. There he is. Zeus.
Thank you, Katie, for sharing this video. We appreciate it. Chris Alvarez says, hi, Penny.
Hi, Chris.
Oh, Zeus. Look at that face.
Yeah, he is a really,
He's a love bug.
he's a really good boy.
So we're kind of breaking the ice with Zeus in your office. And,
Oh, yeah, and he likes to give love bites.
yep. So what's our plan with Zeus? What do we want to...
Zeus is available for adoption. He's just, right now he's staying in my office because he has this cold. And I didn't want to, so because our isolation cages are smaller, I just wanted to keep him in here and not have him regress because he's made such important strides.
He's a pretty big boy.
He is a big boy, but I'm in love with this cat. I think anyone would be lucky. Anyone would be lucky to have this kid. Although he won't do well in very active households, like he does like things on the quieter side. But like I said, I've had other cats in here before he broke with his cold, and he did really well with them, both male and female. And he doesn't seem to be too upset by my coworker's dog who comes in here. Hi.
That's good. So not too spooked by the dogs.
No.
MCA's volunteers just commented, hi, Karen, is Zeus chunkier than Yowlery?
No, he is. He's solid, but no, he's not quite that robust. Not quite. He's about 13 pounds. But he does have that kind of stockier build, like more like an American Shorthair, which is a breed that has a stockier build. Does that make sense? Hi, honey. Will you come out? But yeah, so this is the kind of these are the kinds of makeshift things that we do here at the shelter when we have cats that need a little extra.
Right.
We have our colony rooms in the cattery for cats who need more space. But in this particular instance, like I said, because he is sick, then this gives him a chance to have the space he needs, as well as not contaminate others.
And we had folks asking about volunteers helping in the shelter to socialize and to show cats. And how do we work out our behavior plans for cats? How do we make sure they get everything they need? And what's your role in that, Karen?
So what we do is once they complete their behavior assessments, each cat is graded with a color. So at this point, Zeus would still be what we call a green, which means he needs a more experienced volunteer because he does have some. He's not, quite as receptive to strangers. He's still a little more standoffish, wants to, smell them and, get to know them. Other cats, so we have blue cats, which are considered, kind of like the bunny slope of cats. These are the ones that are pretty easy to handle. They're confident or reasonably so. They don't show any cat reactivity here in the shelter. So basically even a newer volunteer or just adopter can come in and handle them. Then we have our purple cats, which are the ones that need a little more behavioral enrichment. They may be a little more anxious in the shelter. They may have some cat reactivity. And cat reactivity just means that, with strange cats with their sight and or smell, cats will get aroused, sometimes a little over-aroused. Because often cats are more dependent on their environment. It's not like dogs where you can generally, put two dogs nose to nose and they'll greet each other. And cats often require more time. They need to feel safe in their environment and then get introduced to the other pets in the home. And with some cats, that's really easy because they feel at home anywhere. And other cats, like Zeus here, obviously he takes some time.
Right.
So purple cats just means they have some mild anxiety, just need a little more extra care when being shown and being worked with. But generally, we feel like our volunteers that just have a little more experience under their belt can handle those cats too. And everyone goes through training classes for the different tracks. So green cats are generally for staff and for our volunteer mentors. The mentors are people who have been here for a while and are used to handling our more sensitive boys and girls. Oh, there we go. Oh, here we go.
Come on out, Zeus.
Come on, Susie.
He's like, maybe.
He's like, now that I'm done chewing on your finger. And I just want to emphasize, when he was chewing on my finger, but in a very gentle way.
Right. Yeah.
A very gentle way.
So we've got green, blue, and purple.
Mm-hmm. So right now, we do have cats that are in the back that we're still working on getting behavior plans together. So we can get more of our more experienced volunteers in the back as well. But as long as even if a cat, has some slightly more advanced behavior issues, depending on what those are, we'll still put them in our cattery. But like I said, just require a more advanced volunteer to show them. But we do try and work out. The more severe behavior issues because it's no fun to have a cat sitting in there in the cattery that only a few people can work with. And it's a lot of new people and noise and action. So generally, we find that if we just give cats a little more time, cats that are more anxious, if we give them more time and more enrichment and a way to work out their frustrations, then they chill out enough to where they can go into the cattery and be just fine. Oh, baby boy. Huh.
So there's a plan for every cat.
There is a plan for every cat. We even cats that are much more behaviorally challenged than him. We always find a placement for them. The nice thing with cats is they're smaller, so it's a little easier to place the ones with... Oh, my goodness!
Bless you.
Oh, baby.
Oh, Zeus. I think that was a record of cat sneezes.
I think so.
Oh, Zeus.
It might be your own hair.
Are you allergic to your hair, Zeus?
Huh, baby?
It's a pretty bad kitty cold.
Yeah. Oh! I'm gonna have to go wash my entire arm, winter. Oh, baby boy.
Veronica says, Gesundheit. Yes.
Gesundheit, honey. These are the cats that I focus on. Cats like him, cats like Madge, that need that little extra bit of work and little more observation, and then just I do find though that with space and time and a little extra attention, like the vast majority of our cats, they settle in just fine, and we're able to find them really great homes. Even though we get them in in all kinds of ways.
Right. And most of our animals are either going to come in stray through Good Samaritans or animal control officers, and sometimes through the Trap, Neuter, Return program of the Action Cat Team. What are some other ways you see cats?
We do get cats in through surrenders. We do have an owner surrender waiting list for people who don't have other options.
Like for example, counties that may not serve cats.
Actually,
Or no?
we try to encourage them to utilize private shelters for owner surrenders because we do have limited capabilities. One of the things that we are seeing, especially now, are people that are facing sudden evictions. Who literally have lost their homes and need an emergency place for their cat, and those are the ones that we want to make priority because these cats truly have no place else to go. So we have waiting. We do have a waiting list, and we are able to get people in pretty quickly. But we do want to we do want to make sure that we are able to have room, especially for the strays, and like I said, and then the cats that, like I said, their owners have no other resources for them, and we want to be that safety net. Next comes cats, with with behavioral issues, but the vast majority, I'll say, are people that just they don't have any place else to go. And we're able to provide them a place to bring their animals and like I said, place them in loving homes.
Thank you, MCA's volunteers, for posting Zeus's adoption profile.
Aww.
This boy is available. He's just getting over his kitty cold, but he's a very sweet boy.
Oh, he's great, and he's a good eater. He's a very, very good eater. He's very food motivated. But yeah, like I said, he's good with other cats. He doesn't seem to mind dogs. He's a wonderful boy, and we have a lot of wonderful adults and seniors, as well as older kittens. We have a cat for everyone. We have a cat for everyone here at the shelter. Zeus.
So, we're going to make this kind of a short show. We just want to thank everybody for supporting Kitten Triage Tuesday. All of our volunteers and donors for supporting the Kitten Triage program, and also holistically looking at all the cats in the shelter. You're supporting, all of the cats, not just the kittens, by supporting this program and making sure that there's a plan for every cat, that there's, a way to place every single cat that we receive. And we appreciate your support. And we encourage your donations. There's a link to donate in the comments by Justin Howard at our Indiegogo page. We've raised $15,000 so far, but it really takes roughly $40,000 to sustain the Kitten Triage program for a season, to support 800 kittens at about $50 each. So thank you to everybody who's donated. Thank you to everyone who's clicking on that link right now. And thank you so much for joining us. This is Zeus, Karen McGill, Feline Care Specialist, Justin Howard, and I'm Jay Levitre signing off. Thanks, everybody.